You know that feeling? You open up any news app and it's just a wall of uncertainty. The market's doing this, the cost of living's doing that. It really feels like you're trying to walk through a thick financial fog. But what if you had a map, a blueprint to cut right through that fog and build something solid, something secure for your future? Well, that's what we're doing today. Let's start building.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, it's so common. You're putting in the hours, you're doing everything right, but that feeling of actually getting ahead financially, it just seems to disappear. It's a super frustrating cycle, but believe me, it's a cycle we are absolutely going to break.
And your guide on this journey is Professor Anant Singh. Now, his work covers all these big, complex fields. But today, we're not talking about global theories. We're zooming in on your personal economy, your microeconomy, and giving you the blueprint to go from feeling anxious to building what he calls a financial fortress. All right, so class is officially in session. Over the next few minutes, we're going to build this fortress together, piece by piece. We'll start with the foundation and work our way all the way up to the watchtower.
So where do we start? Phase 1, securing your foundation. You see, the very first pillar of your fortress isn't about cutting your spending or trying to find the perfect stock. Nope, it's all about protecting the single most powerful asset you have, your ability to earn an income.
And that brings us to this really powerful idea called entrepreneurship. Think about it. When the economy gets shaky, what do companies do? They look for expenses to cut. The goal here is to completely change how you're seen at work, to go from being a line item on an expense sheet to being a critical investment that actually drives the company forward.
And here are the 3 pillars that make that happen. First, there's a 30-day blueprint where you actively audit and boost your value. Next, you build a real survival buffer, not just some small rainy day fund, but a serious cushion. And when you've done those 2 things, you can make career moves from a place of power and confidence, not fear and desperation.
Okay, so once your income is secure, then we can shift our focus to mastering how that money flows. This is where we plug all the leaks and really take command.
You know, most of us operate on what you could call hope-based budgeting. We spend, we pay our bills, and we just kind of hope for the best. We're flipping that entire script. The goal is to have mission-driven money, where you are the commander of your finances. You give every single dollar a job before the month even starts. You tell your money where to go instead of just wondering where it went. And this maximizer method has 3 core moves. First up is ruthless budgeting, and don't let that name scare you. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about gaining total clarity with a money map. Second is the sinking fund strategy, which is brilliant for planning those big future expenses so they never catch you by surprise. And third, a systematic plan for debt demolition. And let's talk about debt for a second, because having a structured plan is everything. Methods like the debt snowball or the debt avalanche, they give you a clear, motivating path to just systematically wipe out that high-interest debt and take back your cash flow, month after month.
But here's the real secret, the thing that makes all of this actually work. The math is important, of course, but the real, lasting change, that comes from building micro-habits. It's the small, daily things, the tracking, the conscious decisions that make these systems a permanent part of your life.
Okay, with our foundation rock solid and our cash flow finally under our control, now we can lift our eyes and look at the horizon. This final phase, this is the big one. It's about mapping your path to genuine, long-term financial freedom.
We've all heard the term FIRE, right? Financial independence, retire early. But for a lot of people, it just sounds like a fantasy. Is it something that's actually possible for a regular person? Or is it just a club for the super rich? Well, the truth is, FIRE isn't a myth. It's math. It's a formula.
And this is the roadmap. Now, this isn't some get-rich-quick promise. It's a clear, decade-long plan that breaks this huge goal down into manageable steps. In year 1, you figure out your personal FIRE score. That's your finish line. By year 3, you've checked off the essential financial tasks. By year 5, your investments are on autopilot. By year 7, you're looking at optimizing your income. And the goal? By year 10, work becomes something you choose to do, not something you have to do. This plan totally debunks those old retirement myths and puts you in the driver's seat.
So now we have the blueprint. We know the what and the why. But let's be honest, the most important part is the how. So let's talk about the actual tools you need to start building this fortress for yourself.
Professor Singh's mission as an educator is actually really simple. Take these big, sometimes intimidating financial ideas and compress them. Boil them down into practical tools that you can use right away to see real results.
So, to help you put everything we've talked about into practice, he's created a series of short, powerful digital handbooks. There's one for recession-proofing your income, one for the paycheck maximizer method, another for the FIRE blueprint we just discussed, and one more that's all about building those micro habits to make it all stick.
Think of it this way. What we just did was the lecture. These handbooks, they're the lab manuals. They're the complete toolkit you need to go from theory to practice and start building your own financial fortress brick by brick. And because the whole point is to make financial literacy something for everyone, not just a luxury, each one of these guides is just $2. I mean, for less than a cup of coffee, you get the exact frameworks to take control of your financial life.
But at the end of the day, you have to remember this. All the information in the world is just noise if you don't do anything with it. You have to be the one to take that first step.
So, that brings us right here to the final question. Whether it's doing that 30-day value audit at your job, setting up your very first sinking fund, or even just calculating your FIRE score for the fun of it, what is the one single brick you're going to lay for your fortress starting today?